Madam Speaker, food security is a real issue in Canada right now, and it's something that I have been concerned about for a number of years under the mismanagement of this Liberal government. According to Food Banks Canada, there were nearly 2 million visits to food banks in 1 month back in March 2023, an increase of 79% from 2019. This is an alarming statistic, especially when you factor in the Liberals' inability to control inflation and the cost of living crisis that so many Canadians are currently facing. From 2021 to 2022, the number of families who were food insecure increased by more than 12%, yet the Liberals are still forcing these very same families to pay a carbon tax on just about everything they buy. In fact, a report that came out today shows that a family of 4 will pay $700 more next year on groceries, and that is on top of the $1,065 extra that they are paying this year. For many families, that amount of money is the difference between being able to pay the rent or keep the heat on for the winter. Projections show that in 2024, there will be a 2.5 to 4.5 increase in food prices, with meat, vegetables, and bakery items rising from 5% to 7%. Due to these rapidly rising prices, Canadians across the country are reducing their expenditures on groceries, either by reducing the quantity or quality of the food that they are buying, or by substituting less expensive alternatives. We are now seeing the highest level of food bank usage in Canada on record, and it is this Prime Minister who must answer to it. I'd like to read a portion of the Food Banks Canada policy recommendations from their website, and it states as follows, quote, "Unfortunately, the story of 2023 is one of government inaction across the country. Our warning has largely gone unheeded, and the repercussions are clear, with nearly 2 million food bank visits in 1 month alone. The state of poverty and food insecurity in Canada has reached alarming heights. Despite the poverty rates being relatively low in historical terms, we're seeing signs that people in Canada are struggling profoundly. Food insecurity rates have skyrocketed, with nearly 1 in 5 Canadians finding it difficult to bring food to the table each day. The current financial challenges have resulted in growing mental health problems and stress related to finances. There is a palpable anxiety with many people across the country, growing increasingly concerned about how to meet their fundamental financial responsibilities, like paying their rent, filling up their car to get to work, and paying for unnecessary prescriptions. The lack of government action has only exacerbated the problems we were seeing a year ago, and in some cases for decades prior." End quote. Madam Speaker, what I just read did not come from a partisan, conservative source, as the Liberals would probably like you to believe. It came from a reputable and well-established organizations whose goal is to be seen as Canada, to see a Canada where no one goes hungry. What is a simple and straightforward way of doing this? Stop taxing the very farmers who produce the food so that the costs do not get passed on to the consumer. If you tax the farmer that grows the food, and you tax the truckers who ships the food, it is ultimately the consumer who pays that tax. The Liberals either don't understand this or they don't care, and it is hardworking average Canadians who are paying the price for their apathy.